What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's David here, and welcome back to another Atlas news episode. This one is packed. As you can see, I'm not in my normal setup, just a little change of pace, right? I have two desks that I'm able to work at nowadays, so we will have different scenes in videos from now on. This Atlas news episode is packed. We have three topics to talk about. Persona 5 Tactica is apparently getting day one DLC, so we'll go over that and what that entails specifically. Not necessarily good news there, but still. On the other side of the coin, we do have good news for Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection and a sales figure that just popped up for the first week of sales of that game. Love to see it. And finally, we'll talk about Persona 3 Reload again. I made a video yesterday talking about the platforms that were confirmed for the game, lack of Switch version. Turns out we have a little more to discuss in terms of a potential Switch version at launch of that game. And also, we talked about in another video, it's been crazy now lately, cut content from the remake, which is cut content from FES and from Portable with a lack of FMC. Well, the producer of Persona 3 Reload came out and clarified the situation, so we'll go over the new information. Now we have, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date on all things in terms of Atlas, SMT, Metaphor, Fantasio, make sure to subscribe, ring that notification bell, as well as we're aiming for 20,000 subscribers before the end of 2023. Big goal, but we can make it with you guys' support. Quick thumbs up if you like the video is also a big help. Let's get into it, starting with Persona 5 Tactica. So Persona 5 Tactica, there was a video that was uploaded by Atlas Japan yesterday discussing a lot of things about the game, a lot of story details, very interesting stuff. I'll link the Persona Central article that I'm looking at on my screen right now that we're talking about in this video, because they're summarizing everything from that Atlas video, which was in Japanese. And what I want to talk about today is the fact that sadly there will be day one DLC for Persona 5 Tactica. It's not too surprising because Atlas, they're always doing that nowadays. It's unfortunately something that they do. They cut content from their main game and they sell it on top of the $60 full price that they're asking for the game. Shitty practice. Generally speaking, I skip these day one DLCs because I don't like the practice. And reading the details of that DLC, which we'll get into in a second, definitely feels like cut content more than anything. So, hey. Anyways, DLC is called Episode Repaint Your Heart. For those who have enjoyed the main game, an additional downloadable content episode will be released. This DLC introduces a highly anticipated character available exclusively in the DLC. Not only will players experience a new story, but they can also enjoy thrilling battles with new rules. The DLC can be accessed by purchasing the Deluxe Edition of Persona 5 Tactica Digital Deluxe or by purchasing the DLC individually. Stay tuned for further updates and details. So clearly this is story stuff, new character as well, and then highly anticipated character, so they already know what they're doing. Akechi and Sumire are missing from the trailer, the initial trailer, the reveal trailer, Zenkichi 2. So those are the characters that I'm looking at. Maruki possibly, we'll have to wait and see, but this is going to be sold separately. Now we also have free DLC, which comes as a pre-order bonus for the game. First print copies, physical copies of the game will have that bonus, but also digital purchaser of that game as well. So the day one DLC for P5T will be special personas to summon: Orpheus, Picaro, and Izanagi, Picaro as well. So both Makoto and Yu's persona from Persona 3 and 4 will be summonable personas in that game as a pre-order DLC. No word yet on if this will be available for purchase separately if you buy the game later. I would say it's going to be the case because generally speaking, you can purchase day one DLC, pre-order bonuses DLC from Atlas after launch, generally speaking, but that is not confirmed yet. So let me know what you think of these details for Persona 5 Tactica. There's some good news, there's some bad news, but hey, not the end of the world. Still looking forward to that game. Now for our next bit of news, we have Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection. Now, I've been playing Etrian Odyssey HD Remaster on my Switch. I'm 8 hours in. It's very addictive. I'm a newcomer to Etrian Odyssey, so I'm taking my time with it, but it's been very fun. The game is fair. It's priced a little high, so I was not expecting the game to sell that well, but it turns out the game sold roughly 39,000 copies physically on Switch only during its first week of sales in Japan, which is very good because in Japan it's about a 50-50 split in terms of digital versus physical ratio, which means that the game sold around 80,000 copies during its first week in Japan if you if you count both physical and digital sales on Switch alone. Don't forget that there's also a PC version of that game, which I would think sold less because Etrian Odyssey has always been a Nintendo series, so I'm sure it's sold decently on PC, but definitely not as well as on Switch. I'm thinking, let's say we do a round number and it sold around 20,000 copies or so, which would be half of what the Switch did physically. It makes it 100,000 copies for its first week of sales in Japan at a high price point. This is absolutely amazing to see for Etrian Odyssey. Great sales, and the series has a bright future, in my opinion. So we'll look forward to more about Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection, and hopefully we see Etrian Odyssey 6 in the near future. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. And now what a lot of people have been waiting for, updates on Persona 3 Reload. We'll start about the content because there was misinformation in the video that I made on Monday, simply because the interview where the information came from in terms of content from FES and Portable that are not in the main game, this interview was mistranslated with Wada and the producer of Reload. And we have a clarification now from IGN and the producer of Persona 3 Reload. So had this to say to Famitsu in a new interview to clarify what was previously said in the IGN interview. So, quote, "I would like to make this clear so that there is no misunderstanding. Persona 3 Reload is a project that started as a remake of the original Persona 3 for current consoles, so it does not include the later story added in FES or the female protagonist from Portable. However, this does not mean that the main story elements added in FES are not included in Reload at all." So basically, if you ask my opinion on it, we don't have the specifics, but I'm thinking we'll have those social links that were added in FES, like the Aegis social link, for example. We are going to have this added content, the added scenes and all that stuff, but the answer was cut. Which, if that's the case, I'm totally fine with that. This is a way different approach that we have to have for Reload, in my opinion, because you have all the important stuff. The answer, yes, is cut content. I wish it was there because it's a remake. It should have been there, okay? Let me make that clear. But at the end of the day, the answer sucks. It's really, if you played it, you already know it's not fun at all. And if it was optional like in FES, I would have skipped it for the remake, to be perfectly honest. I don't want to go back to that thing except if they rework it. But now we have confirmation that the answer is not going to be in the game, but other FES content certainly will be, so I'm expecting social links and all that stuff to be there in Reload, which is great to see. Now again, I know a lot of y'all are expecting or hoping for more news on Persona 3 Reload, more details and all that stuff, and the marketing team at Atlus just announced that they're going to do something very cool with Persona 3 Reload's marketing campaign, and what they're going to do is they're going to reference the Dark Hour from Persona 3, and whenever there's a full moon, we'll have news, we'll have new information on P3 Reload, which is very exciting. First full moon, as noted here by a friend of the channel, Faz, is going to be August 1st, so we'll look forward to all the full moons because, hey, we'll have P3 information. What can it be? Can it just be the reveal of certain character portraits that we haven't seen? Maybe, but maybe it means we get new trailers and new clips and new information, new details, new screenshots. So I'm excited. We'll have to wait and see what they have to show because it could be very nice or it could be a little underwhelming, so we'll just have to wait and see once again. And finally, onto our last bit of news. Still no confirmation if the game is also coming out on Nintendo Switch or not. If you want more details about platforms for Reload, make sure you check out my video, my last video on the channel, talking about the platforms for the game. But as of now, it's confirmed for every platform but Switch. And I have reasons to believe it could still happen on Switch. And a new listing from a reliable retailer this time came up early today. So you can see my tweet here on Twitter. Someone reached out, thank you very much, mate, and told me about a new listing that they noticed on the GameStop equivalent in the UK. So it is part of the GameStop retail store. It's called Game.co. So if you check out game.co.uk, you will see that they have a new listing up for Persona 3 Reload, and it does include a SKU for Persona 3 Reload on Nintendo Switch. There's two retailers now saying this. There is a lot of people saying that, yes, it's going to happen during the next partner showcase or next direct or something. I am personally leaning towards yes, it's going to happen. I believe we will have a version of P3 Reload on Switch at launch, but don't get your expectations don't get your hopes too high. For now, nothing is confirmed. Ring the notification bell because as soon as we have an update, I will be there reporting on it. So this is our news for today, y'all. Are you excited about the information that we discussed? Are you still looking forward to P3 Reload, even though we have new information around surrounding it, good one and bad one? Thank you so much for watching the video. I always appreciate it whenever you guys watch, and drop a quick thumbs up if you like the video. You have a great day, y'all. Bye.